Okay, to break this down, I'm grabbing this gi here. I'm going to come over the back, grab the far lat, okay, much gi as I can. I'm going to control the opponent by putting my temple in his forehead, okay, stepping straight in. I'm going to step in and sit down, kick this leg up, and immediately as soon as he goes over, I'm going to shoot this hand behind his back, or behind his neck, right here. And this leg follows up right into a tate shield. Okay, when we're in this position, okay, where most guys lose this is they don't control this arm. They'll let him go and they'll just spin right out of this move. So, as soon as you come down to this position, you have to hold this arm tight, okay? Hold it tight. As he moves, you stop him from turning in. And then immediately, so as soon as you feel you stop him, then you shoot your arm straight up, around his neck, into the hole.
Action.
Okay, let's look at that move again. This time, I'm going to come and come up right onto my knees. Okay, let's look at that. Last time I was here, I went right into the tate shield. This time, as soon as my opponent lands, I'm going to switch my hips this way, okay, and hook this arm here. Again, the control comes from having his elbow in your chest. Okay. Now, as he turns away this way, I'm going to sink my elbow in again, just like in the last series. And sink your elbow in here. Okay. Now, in order to bring him back to me, all right, in simple moves, so I don't lose him, but come up on him, come into a pin. A lot of times, as soon as I release this, he turns out of it. So what I like to do from here is hook tight as he's spinning away, reach down, grab the inside, okay, just as you're going to choke him. And I use this not really to choke him so much, but just to pull him back here. And once he's in his position, okay, then I can switch and come into osaikomi, or a pin. Very important, once you're here, as he starts to roll on you like this, even if he rolls this far, you still haven't lost him. Okay, what I want to do is I want to take my stomach, okay, put my stomach right to the mat here. As he keeps rolling and rolling, I keep arching. Okay, now I'm going to just reach in, grab as deep as I can. Now what I do is just put my elbow pressure right onto his head. See, and that brings his whole body back. Okay, it's kind of subtle, but you have to not give up on it. A lot of guys, as soon as they roll this far, they'll let this go. Okay, as soon as you're here, reach in, grab the inside lapel, and now it's not a matter of my body bringing him back, it's a matter of my arm pressure against his head, squeezing tight right onto his ear, right, and rotating back this way until he comes back to me. Again, from this position, let me just go into a little bit more detail. Again, your elbows back behind here. Now, as he starts to roll forward this way, okay, a lot of times what you can do is you can put your hand right down onto the mat, okay, and what I do is I have my elbow kind of inside his shoulder, so he can't, as he's turning above, he can't go anymore. This allows me enough time, okay, to reach inside and grab that lapel, right? Now if he goes any further, he's choking himself, so he doesn't want to turn that way anymore. So for this position here, if you feel like all of a sudden you're losing him, all you have to do is come up here and place your knee, okay, against the side of his head here, and just squeeze your legs, and that's a different choke. Okay, so from here he goes to roll, I post, I reach down, grab the lapel, step over, choke. Okay, this next move is tomoe, which is, again, a sacrifice. I'm putting my back to the ground first and then flipping my opponent over. It's very famous as far as you see it a lot in the movies, and basically there's a couple different ways to do it. You can do it straight back or to the side. Yoko means side, so my certain style I do it from the side. let's break it down into a detail. Basically, as your opponent is moving, he's stepping 1, okay, 2, on the second one, I'm going to shoot down and turn my hip sideways. That's why it's called a side movement. Okay, I'm sideways to him. I'm going to stick my foot right in his hip bone here, hip pocket. Okay, I'm going to kick out and I'm going to pull this arm in. This way. And I immediately come on top, okay, because the motion, the fulcrum, lands me right into this position, of course, which is a great position for a grappler. Okay. From this position, I have options of just hitting him, osaikomi, right? Also, from this position, grab my own gi and apply it. Shimiwaza choke. Okay, I have an armbar here. Okay, so there's various things I can do for position. I guess the most important thing is as I'm flipping the opponent over here, okay, I have to keep control of this sleeve. Okay, if I let go, I'm going to lose him. So as he comes over to the side, this way, I keep control of this sleeve and pull my body right on top. First thing I should do, okay, first thing I should do is come underneath this arm. Because if I don't, he's going to bear hug me this way, okay, and he's going to start to push me up and up and up and try to escape. Okay, so as soon as I come underneath, as soon as I land, come underneath, okay, push the arm up, straight, push it over into outside corner hold. Okay, this next move, tomoe-nage into an armbar. This time, instead of taking him straight back into the tomoe-nage, straight over, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here, I'm going to slide my foot to the outside, and basically miss the technique. Okay? Now his arm straightens out because he's stopping me from the fall, or he's stopping himself from the fall. At that point, I want to grab the wrist. Okay, I still have control here, right, with this lapel. I want to take this arm, pick up this leg, put it straight over, slide my hip through, into the arm bar. Okay, it's very important that when you apply this technique, right, you pull the opponent into you. Okay, because by pulling him into you, he's going to straighten his arm out and try to get away. Right, and as he gets away, then you do apply the technique. Okay, here, grab the wrist, leg comes over. I'm still holding on to this lapel. Leg comes over. I maintain that lapel control until I feel I have complete control, and then I let go and pull up. Okay, last technique is basically what they call a flying armbar, and it's takedown to right into an armbar. Basically, you're securing the armbar on the way down, and by the time the opponent hits the mat, usually they give up, but if you have to apply it, then you just apply the regular Jujigatame. Let's look at it. Okay, quickly in detail, it's very hard to show this move in slow motion. So basically what I'm doing is I'm securing the lapel in the sleeve. I'm waiting for my opponent to bend over. Okay, as soon as I see him bend over, this knee jumps and goes right into, okay, the chest and right into the arm. And then I roll. Okay, on my way down, I've already secured this. Okay, about halfway up, I've already secured this. Okay, now I'm going to just keep this pulling arm in tight. Okay, as he rolls, my leg comes down, makes him roll, and I'm still controlling this arm to the arm bar. Again, I have this lapel also, okay, which I'm pulling him in tight to create, to eliminate this space. Squeeze my knees together, arm bar. Before your opponent crunches up like this. Once your opponent is like this, very difficult to get it. We'll show you how later, but in the beginning, we grab in here. Again, we're going to grab the pinky right inside this, right at this bone here. Not necessarily the wrist. Take the pinky here. Okay. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my weight on to his tricep. Okay, my elbow goes right onto the tricep, and I turn to my hip here. Okay, so you can see all the pressure right here of my body is on his tricep. This, most of the time, will make him flatten out. Okay, if he flattens out, this move is very simple. You just rip him out and for a wakigatami. Let's go over the basics of that last move. Okay, again, the knees come together. This hand shoots in right away. Okay, it gains control of his whole wrist, his whole hand. Okay, as soon as I do this, he's going to tighten up in here. Okay, so it's hard. It's not that easy to pull his arm up to here. So when I do that is I'm going to use my knee actually right against my own elbow. Okay, my knee against my own elbow, and that creates the force which drives his elbow out. And at the same time I do that, I'm going to step over and apply all the pressure right to his tricep here. Okay, now I got him broken down where he's flat. That's just where I want him. Okay. So once again, right, the knee, my own knee, against his inside elbow or against my own. It's even better if I can catch his elbow. Okay, so you're here, right? Keep your body tight. Slide your knee into his elbow. Step over and rip his arm out. Now at this point here, it's very easy to lose control, so he can still kind of wiggle out. So what you want to do is maintain this pressure, put your hip into the back of his elbow here, and just pull up until he submits. This next move, based on the same arm prise series, is going to take effect because instead of him flattening his body out, he's going to fight and stay up tucked in the ball. So if he does that, this is what happens. Okay. This time, you apply the pressure same way. Grip inside. Again, you're driving your knee close into his elbow and applying the pressure. But at this point here, you realize that he's going to tough it out and fight it out and not flatten out. Okay? So at this point here, instead of bringing my leg back this way and chancing him getting out, okay, all I'm going to do is keep the pressure down, slide my knee on top of his head, and then let my knee touch the mat. So I'm in here. And as you can see, my knee is pushing his head this way. It's posting right here, so he can't, if my knee is out here, he's going to slip out of it very easily. So this is real important that you post his head right here. Okay? Secondly, from this point here, it's not easy just to lift up his arm in this position. All right? So the secret to doing this is basically your hand is in this position, you're going to, so the thumb is up. What that does is that puts the knife edge into his knife edge, okay, into his forearm to forearm, but more importantly, it puts your elbow right into the back of his shoulder, which creates a lot of pain. Okay, now from this point on, I can either grab his elbow, help pull it up, or I can come underneath and grab my own hand, okay, this way. And I want to bring his elbow into my chest, right here. Okay, once I have his elbow into my chest, it's very easy to control him, okay? But what I like to do is just pull this, take the belt or the gi, whatever's available, and key lock his wrist right here, so he can't move. Right? Again, I have a lot of pressure on the back of his head. Now from here, I'm going to go into the pin. The next important thing is that I bring my knee into here, because if I don't, I'm going to try to circle around this way, and he's going to get out. Okay, so that stops him from moving this direction. I take my knee, put it right into his chest this way, post him from moving that direction. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down, grab here, and just kind of push into him, and slowly bring my hips down until my hips touch the mat. Okay? Very important when you're pinning, your hips are to the mat, your head's up, okay? Your elbows are in tight. Here, okay? Go ahead and try to escape. Okay? If I hold them here for 30 seconds, the match is over. Okay, off of that same series, same move, we're going to go right into, instead of going into the pin, we're going to go into the armbar. Let's watch it once in full speed, and then we'll go through the details. Okay, again, basics are through wrist control. Okay. Next is your knee, slide your body onto his tricep, and then put all your weight onto his tricep. Okay, third, you're going to take your knee, place it on top of his head, slide it off the top, and post it on the other side. Finger, your thumb turns up, creates that pain and tightness here. Okay, next, I'm going to come underneath here, a little bit deeper, right? Put my elbow into my hand into my elbow, right? And pull them up tight. Okay, now, what he's going to do is, if I go for the pin, he's going to flatten out, okay, to try to stop me from getting the pin. So as he flattens out, okay, it's a little bit easier to roll and gain a little bit more position onto his side. Okay, so now you have him basically on your side. What's controlling him now is my two knees. One is here, okay, the other one is behind him, here. Okay, so you're posting this arm here. You don't want him to get that arm out. So you keep your knee right here, right, and the other knee tight. You squeeze his head and his shoulders together with both your knees. Okay. When you gain that control, okay, from this position, elbow to the chest. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is, if I try to take his wrist and pull it away from him, it's very difficult because he's holding on to his lapel. So instead, I'm going to go the opposite way. Figure 4, my thumb's going to go underneath his wrist, and I'm going to pull it out this way. It's very easy to rip out because there's not much strength there in his wrist. Okay? He holds tight as he can, rip it out this way. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it close to my chest. I'm going to push it back, and I don't want to go way out here, right, because he's going to give him too much room to escape. So keep it in tight, push it back until we get the shoulder lock or the arm bar. Okay, now we've gone through the pin, the arm bar. Now let's look at a different variation of a choke. First in full speed, then we'll break it down. Okay, basically same thing. Hand control, tricep control here. Okay, step over the head, elbow to the chest, right, turn your thumb up, gain control here. Now this choke works because sometimes it's just difficult to turn the guy over. So basically, say he doesn't flatten out and he doesn't want to turn over. He's just fighting it because he's got a very strong shoulders or very strong upper body. So from here, he's leaving it open, this choke. Just reach inside. What you want to do is you want to run your pinky right down this side of his neck, okay? Get as deep as you can and get your thumb inside the gi here, okay? And once you gain that, you hold it, okay? And then with your knees, right, you're going to squeeze your knees together this way and then just pull up. One more time on the choke, just to look at the details. Once we turn the person over to here, okay, we lift up the arm inside here, okay. We really have to use the right timing to reach down, because if you, as soon as you let go of this pressure, right, he's going to bring your arm down, right. So you really have to be, your whole body has to be on this, over here, on this side of the mat, okay. If you're anywhere up here, okay, and you go for this choke, chances are he's just going to roll you straight down this way, okay. So you really have to be on the opposite side of his body, okay, with all your pressure this way, okay, and then you can reach down this way, okay. Now what you do is now you let him come a little bit over, a little bit forward, and you swing this knee in tight, okay. Your hand basically just holds on. It's your knees squeezing together is what chokes him. Okay, so don't put too much emphasis on pulling his neck, because that's really not what's choking. All the hand does is just posts his neck, keeps it nice and tight, and then this creates the pressure here. Let's look at a different variation or a different choke called sankaku, which is the basic triangle choke. Again, from the arm prise series leading into the sankaku. It's a great combination. Okay, in this big series, again, same pressure. Wrist, knee, pressure, head pressure. Okay, this time, instead of stopping right here, okay,